Hey folks, Countywide has moved. Our award-winning community talk program has moved to Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. We'll continue to bring you interesting and informative community newsmakers, just as we've done for nearly 20 years, but now as your Sunday wake-up at 6. Brought to you by Edward Jones Matthias Sandoval, Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt, Farm Bureau Randall Insurance, and Verde Solaire. Join me, Brad Miller, for Countywide, 6 a.m. Sundays on this Yavapai Broadcasting Station. Good day to you and welcome to the program. It is Countywide. I'm Brad Miller and we're happy to welcome into studio the Superintendent of the Cottonwood-Oak Creek School District. Jessica Vocca is here, and a good day to you.
Good morning.
Good to have you bring your smiling face into the studio and talk about important things surrounding the district. School's coming up as we record our show here toward the end of July. So
July 30th.
Almost there.
We're almost there. We're getting there.
Exciting time, isn't it?
It is exciting.
Yeah.
The buzz is exciting. Teachers are starting to come through. Principals are getting things ready. Parents are asking questions.
Sure.
So it's an exciting time of year.
That's great.
Busy.
All right. Well, now among all of that, in November there's going to be a bond measure put to voters, and I wanted to talk about that today.
Yes, thank you.
And just kind of, first of all, it seems like a lot of people, when they hear a bond measure, think, oh, the school's asking for more money. They are not doing a good job with the money they have.
Yes.
And I know that's not right, but can you help me kind of understand, if I ask the dumbest question in the world, what is a capital bond? And I believe that's what this is.
Yes.
And what are voters being asked?
So a capital bond is separate from our basic budget, which is a maintenance and operations. So maintenance and operations will pay for staffing, transportation, anything that falls under how you operate a school within its people, insurance budgets, all of those things, school budgets, department budgets, maintenance budgets. A capital bond works with a specific, you could say, item list, or what's different is it's kind of the things that you use within the school, the buildings, the buses, the infrastructure, technology, curriculum, books. So those are kind of more tangible assets, you could say. Bricks and mortar,
transport,
right. Yes.
Kind of sort of like things you can tap with a hammer, if you look at it that way.
Exactly.
The solids.
Yes, I think the brick and mortar is exactly a good way. It's general, but it's a good way of explaining what capital funds pay for
and how it's different.
Right, and how it's different. So how the state sets a budget is they have your maintenance and operations, and that's the operation, as I said, in running the school. The capital is separate. And so there's two ways you can pay for capital within the state of Arizona. The first way is through district additional assistance, which we receive from the state. And our budget for district additional assistance is just over $600,000.
Okay.
So that
annually or one time or?
Annually.
Okay.
And sometimes that fluctuates. In the past, probably 20 or more years ago, it was a bigger budget.
Okay.
At one point, the state was not providing that funding for about maybe a handful of years.
Okay.
And then they started introducing it back in the budget.
Okay. So that's subject to state legislative moving around and doing whatever they're going to do.
Yes.
In Phoenix. Okay.
Yep. Another way that you can have capital projects taken through the state, I guess you could say, is through the School Facilities Board. And the School Facilities Board receives funding from the state of Arizona for emergency projects. So a good example of that was about a year ago, we had a septic system fail at a school.
There you go.
So they paid for us to pump our septic system monthly so we could keep school in session.
Okay.
However, it doesn't replace for anything new. I guess I should say that differently. They will replace what you have, but they won't improve what you have. So when we look at it, It was our leach system, our leach field, I should say, that was the issue. So they were able to replace the leach field for that septic system.
Okay. And now at what campus? Or
this was at Dr. Daniel Bright,
okay,
which is our largest campus.
Yeah.
So the only other option we would have besides pumping and they did replace the leach field during school. The only other thing we could do was close down the school and replace over 500 students, which would be challenging. For one, we don't have many bus drivers in the district.
Right.
And so that would put a heavy strain on our transportation system that's already strained. So that would be an example of the school facilities board.
Okay.
What we run into with capital funding is that we don't have enough funding to stretch major projects. So, for example, we need some new HVAC systems. And some people may not know, some of our buildings are still using evaporative coolers. And those are usually larger spaces, gyms, cafeterias. So when you pack students in, it becomes challenging to cool that place down.
Especially when you start classes at the end of July and you got all of August and a good chunk of September. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And in Arizona, that's challenging, as we all know. We'd all rather have an AC than an evaporative cooler.
Right.
So that would cost the districts between, I think we estimated $4 to $6 million.
Yeah.
And so replacing systems like those become challenging when you don't have a budget to improve or replace. So we have what in the state of Arizona, their mechanism is going for capital bonds. So which means you go out to your community and ask for a capital bond, and that would be placed on property taxes. So for this specific bond, Yavapai County says that it would be so it's not your market value. I want to make that clear. It's your assessed value of your home.
Okay.
So you get that little mailer once a year, I believe maybe February.
County assessors.
Exactly.
Ticket.
So it would be assessed based off that value, not a market value.
Okay.
So the average, we have learned that the average home in assessed value is about around $200,000.
Okay.
So what that would mean for anyone who has a property value of like $200,000, a monthly cost would be $7.15.
Okay.
So it's about $85 a year, a little over $85.
To help the district get all of these things that are
correct,
kind of on a critical list in many cases.
We've stretched about as far as we can with facilities because we have a very supportive community. They've passed overrides for us. They've passed a bond for us in 2014, which was the same as we're coming up now, critical end of use or end of life. Back then, they did a lot with facilities as far as electrical systems underground. They did a huge project for technology for Wi-Fi and things like that.
Right.
So those were really big infrastructure items, which is what we're running into now.
Well, how any district keeps up with that kind of technology blows my mind.
Yes.
I know that's a little different than what we're talking about today. But you start to see those demands and how that rubber band gets stretched.
Yes.
And somewhere something kind of gives. And then I want to back up to one little point. Mm-hmm. You talked about the emergency fund and some of the repairs, the leach field, that being the example. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not a pool of money from the state. Is that like a request? Hey, we've got this problem. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a little different than the $600,000.
Correct.
Okay.
So you would essentially apply for additional funding.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not something you can depend on annually.
No.
So
it's emergency purposes usually. And the school facilities board has run into also financial issue as well. They're getting less from the state.
Okay.
So, for example, we have used about $1.2 million in emergency funding through the school facilities board, which has been super helpful.
Sure.
As, like a septic system, that would be an emergency.
Right.
And some drainage systems we've used it for as well. But But, like any other budget, they've got to balance it as well. And many schools in the state of Arizona are running into the same problem that Cottonwood-Oak Creek is.
Some schools are running into real big problems.
Yes.
It sounds to me like based on enrollment, because isn't state budget apportionment straight to enrollment is where it's mostly determined.
Yes, it is. And we get at Cottonwood-Oak Creek, and it depends on the students you serve. So a high school will receive more funding, such as Mingus Union High School, which makes sense because they work in labs. Many of them take college courses, sports programs. So their facilities use and their students are just involved in more. So they'll receive more per pupil funding. Cottonwood-Oak Creek receives just over $5,000, maybe $5,300 per student. Because in elementary school, you're not paying lab fees until students are maybe in 8th grade. And our sports programs are at a much smaller scale, where we don't go through any of the state tournaments and things like that. That AIA rules and things like that are for 9th through 12th grade.
Right. Okay. And then final question before we break. How is enrollment? Probably not for the coming year. You may not know just yet. I don't know. But are we up, down based on?
So Arizona in the U.S. in general is down enrollment. So we're down a little bit of enrollment, less than about 100 students in the last 2 years, around that much.
Times the 5.
Yes. So it's about $500,000, I think we said.
You see a change very quickly.
Yes, you do. But you still have to maintain your facilities. So that's the challenge right there. So our budget goes down. It takes a little hit there. And we have to manage what students need and what we can do with facilities. Okay. All right.
Good information and more to come. Jessica Vocca is the superintendent of the Cottonwood-Oak Creek School District. This bond measure coming up, it'll be on the November ballot.
Yes, it's Prop 409.
Okay. And it's going to be just a single question.
Yes.
Okay, voters will be asked a yes or a no.
Yep.
There'll be an explanation and all of the kinds of things
we see.
Yes, it
will.
Okay.
And it'll also explain what exactly we're looking at for funding.
Excellent. We'll talk more about it. It's countywide. We'll be back right after this.
Get peace of mind with a summer tune-up from Verde Air, a family-owned business providing premier air conditioning, heating, and plumbing services to the greater Verde Valley for more than 40 years. Make sure your system runs efficiently, quietly, and reliably, no matter how hot it gets. Don't wait for a breakdown. Schedule your summer maintenance today. Call 928-567-5315. That's VerdeSolaire.com, your factory-authorized carrier dealer. Verde Air, keeping you cool year after year.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your savings last? How much should you take out and when? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Matthias Sandoval. Let's work together to help ensure your finances can keep up with your unique needs over the long haul. You've done what it takes to get there. Now it's time to make the most of retirement. Give us a call at 928-634-1044.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Jessica Vocca is here, superintendent. Cottonwood-Oak Creek School District. How many schools are in the Cottonwood District?
So we have 5 school sites.
Yeah.
Our largest school is Dr. Daniel Bright.
Yeah.
Yes, and that has over 500 students. Our next largest would be Cottonwood Community School. Many people my age went to that school. It was Cottonwood Middle School at the time.
Yeah.
But now all our schools are K-8s. We have Mountain View Preparatory, which is about 450 students. And right around there is also Oak Creek School out in Cornville, our most rural campus, which has about 250 kids. And of course that fluctuates based off of the dynamics of the Verde Valley, people moving in and out. And each school has boundaries. So we base our enrollment based off the boundaries.
Right. Okay. Back to the bond then. It'll be on the ballot in November. Going to be a critical matter, of course, for people within the school district. And a yes vote will, I guess, apparently, obviously, approve what you're asking. A no vote would deny.
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of more to it is there? You said there'll be an explanation. Can you outline that a little bit? How do you say all of that in 3 sentences or whatever, I guess?
Well, most schools, and I forgot one site, was Cottonwood Educational Services, which has our small Verde Tech High School, about between 40 and 50, and an autism day program, preschool, all of these things. But all of our schools need basically the same infrastructure.
Okay.
So we're looking at interior, exterior lighting, well systems and pumps. That's a big thing. All of our wells need upgrades. Septic systems. We also, remember those public address systems in school where you could pick up a phone and say, "Good morning, everybody," and it addresses. Every campus basically has the original infrastructure, which is not, it's not well. It's crack. Some don't even work. So it's even our public address system, which is a safety concern for us.
Right.
We are looking at safe and secure entries in school. Our schools were built in such a time to where we didn't have to worry about intruders or transients and public safety. We very much have to worry about these things now. And also our network infrastructure. Some of our electric, some of our technology and things like that need an upgrade.
Okay. So quite a bit of things, you know,
Right.
and again, you start to look around and that's going to go quick.
Right.
What is going to be the total dollar amount of the bond?
The total dollar amount that we are asking for is $30 million.
Okay.
So in 2023, we had an assessment that pushed it a little bit closer to $40 million. And our bond capacity is right around that area. But with the school facilities board funding, and the district additional assistance, some things we can help continue to maintain and upgrade in small little doses. And so we're only asking for the major things. Some things are classroom windows, classroom flooring. We have some pretty old carpet. And so that takes its wear and tear with 30 little feet running around. And so most of it is major upgrades and to keep our schools running.
Anything that I think anybody would kind of consider a luxury.
No, it's definitely not luxury. And we're not building new facilities.
Yeah, right.
What we want to do is we want to upgrade them and maintain them so we can stay in them another 30 years.
And we think about it, it's not just, pleasantries and how things, look. I mean, it's a learning thing. When you've got a bunch of kids and a swamp cooler running on the most humid day of the summer, it's hard to learn in an environment like that. It's hard to teach. It's hard to communicate. It just can become kind of aggravating.
Yes, and also to ask people to work in that environment.
That's what I'm saying.
To retain employees.
All around.
Right.
That's tricky. All right. Talk to me a little bit. Here we got another break. We're buzzing through our show awfully quick. Transportation. We did, I think, a whole show about bus drivers are needed and student aids last time. Is that going to be true again? What do you, as we warm up for the new year?
So we're always looking for bus drivers. We take part-time bus drivers. We take full-time. We have a couple of full-time positions. We had 12-month positions. But we have people that just run maybe field trips in the middle of the day. Okay. We have some people that just run AM routes or PM routes. So it's a really flexible work schedule.
Okay.
We also have summer programs. We just closed out Camp Innovation, which was our 6-week program. And so we have work through the summer if people need it. So bus drivers have, different hours that we can be flexible with.
Okay. What do I need to know to just contact the district, or how do I go about it?
So we have, you go on our website and you can see right there and apply under our jobs postings, and bus drivers always up. Okay. So we're always looking.
And student aid, same thing?
Student aid, same things. We're even looking for bus aids. At this point, because you can put 60 to 70 kids on a bus. You have a driver. And so we're also looking for bus aids. Those people that can just maintain kind of a calm environment.
Everybody quiet.
Yeah, so the bus driver can drive.
I get it. Well, that's a great idea.
Yes.
There's a lot, especially in like a field trip or to a sporting event. Yeah. That can be They're still terrific. Kids. They still just need some oversight. They're going to be kids. All right. We need to take just another short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up. Superintendent Jessica Vocca is here. Cottonwood-Oak Creek School District, big bond decision for voters in the district coming up in November. We'll be back to Countywide after this.
While the temperatures rise, make sure your peace of mind does too. Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, is ready to help you simplify and protect what matters most: your home, your car, your life, and your future. Jonna offers competitive pricing with a relationship-first approach that puts you at the center of every decision. Call Jonna Randall Murdoch today at 928-649-8686. Located on Villa Drive in Cottonwood. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Thank you so very much for your generosity and kindness in helping others. I hope that you take advantage of the many Arizona state tax credits available when giving to qualified charities and schools. If you haven't taken advantage, I hope you'll ask your favorite charity if they qualify. You can go to Arizona Department of Revenue website, search for tax credits, and look at the list of qualifying charities. Then look at your latest Arizona income tax return and see how an Arizona tax credit can benefit many. This is Lewis saying thanks again.
We welcome you back to the program. We wrap up again. Jessica Vocca is our guest today. Now, I'm going to assume the bond will be approved. Again, a lot of education.
So.
Yeah. Education support is kind of a tradition in the community.
It is.
When that happens now, it's not just, okay, here's this $30 million, go get them.
Right.
You're going to have folks that are going to help kind of administrate that.
Yeah, so we are held accountable for what's in the pamphlet. And the pamphlet will explain exactly what we're looking for, some of the projects that I had discussed earlier. Also, what we will have is called a bond oversight committee. So we'll have citizens within the community that can be a part of this committee. We'll take volunteers, and there are some people we have in mind that are community leaders. And so they will approve projects. They'll see the oversight, what we're spending our money on. So everything's we're held accountable to everything that we say we're going to do and is what we do.
Okay. Like big government, they're always talking transparency.
Right, correct.
Smaller school districts seem to be able to really actually do it.
Yes.
In my experience. Anyway.
Yes, yep. We're held accountable, and we receive financial audits every year. It goes to the Auditor General and all of that. So there's a lot of oversight on financial budgets with schools.
Okay. All right. Well, Jessica, good talking to you. A lot of great information.
Thank you.
If I want to know more, certainly it sounds like there'll be quite a bit out between now and the November election. Can I go to the website for information, or what's the best way to?
The website is great, or emailing my email's on there, and my executive assistant, Tricia Winters, is on there. We'll also be presenting this information at like the Lions Club and different sorts of the community centers and things like that. So we will be going on there. We'll also be providing dates on our website for people to come see our schools, to come in and we'll show you what we're doing and what's going on.
You brought a chunk of pipe with you today.
I did. I have a nice hole in a pipe.
It looks like it's been in the ground for a while.
This has been probably at one of our oldest campuses. It's Cottonwood Education Services, which is the old Cottonwood Elementary School campus. But yeah, our pipes are looking pretty dingy and dirty,
shabby.
So we're hoping to upgrade some of that.
All right. Well, Jessica, thank you for the work that you and your staff do and keeping our schools safe, happy, and healthy. The bond issue coming up in November. Our guest, Superintendent Jessica Vocca, Cottonwood-Oak Creek School District.
I appreciate your time today.
Yours
Thank you.
too. I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide. We'll see you next time.